Om Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankaracharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam Om Bhadrang Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangaistuštuvagumsastanubhihi Vyashema devahitam yadayuhu Swasti na indro vriddhashravaha Swasti na pusha vishwavedaha Swasti nastarkshyo arishtanemihi Swasti no brihaspatir dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Nayamatma Balahinena labhyaha Nacha pramadat tapaso vapyalingat Etair upayaihi Yatate yastu vidvan Tasyaisha atma vishate brahmadama Samprapya yenam Rishayo jnanatriptaha Kritatmano vitaragaha Prashantaha Te sarvagam sarvataha Prapya dhiraha Yuktatmanaha sarvam eva avishanti So this the last Mundaka, last section also in the last Mundaka. So here the Upanishad is actually summarizing and giving the phalam. So in these verses you can see that Upanishad is talking about how or who can gain this knowledge and what is the phalam of this jnana, correct? So in the fourth mantra it said Brahma Dhama Dishate, correct? So by following certain upayas, the means which is appropriate for gaining this knowledge, one gains this Brahma Dhama, Parandhama, and all we say. Dhama means some kind of a home or abode, correct? So this jnani enters the abode of Brahman. Means what? So there is no real entry or anything. The person who knows this self, who pursues this knowledge by doing tapas, and also with Vairagya, correct? You have to do tapas, Jnanamayam tapas. You have to put a lot of effort for gaining this knowledge. And along with that effort, you should also have a certain disposition where you are not affected by raga dveshas, by likes and dislikes. And you are no more interested in any karma phala, whatever may be it, in this world or hereafter. So dharma, artha, kama, all three are not important, are not what I really want. That understanding you have. So with the proper vairagya, if you make the right effort, then Brahma Dhama Vishate, you enter this abode of Brahman. So you know this Atma and you are Brahman. So you know this Atma as Brahman. And Brahma, entering Brahma Dhama here means knowing this Atma as Brahman, you are Brahman, that's all. So that is what the Upanishad is trying to say. Further, again, it keeps on talking about the Jnani only. Because whatever the Lakshanas of a Jnani, correct, of a Sthita Prajna, if we take the Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter, there Bhagavan is giving the Lakshanas of a Sthita Prajna. Here you can see similarly the Lakshana of the Jnani is given by the Upanishad. Why should the Upanishad talk about the Jnani's Lakshana? Because the Lakshanas of the Jnani, the characteristics of the Jnani are nothing but what the Mumukshus are aiming to acquire, correct, to attain. So all the effort of the Mumukshus, the Jignasus, the ones who want to gain this knowledge, have to be directed towards gaining these Lakshanas of the Jnani. That becomes a sadhya. Okay, whatever Jnani already has is to be gained by the Jignasu. So that's why the Jnani's Lakshanas are given here. And further, also in the next verse, what does it give? So the Upanishad is talking about Jnani's Lakshanam only here also. Having gained this Brahman, correct? Samprapya, Yenam Samprapya, Rishayaha, Jnana Triptaha, the rishis who are satisfied by this knowledge itself. So this, again, all these things are very important because Veda, 95% of the Veda is talking only about karma and upasana. Understand that. So the majority of the Vedic literature, 95% of the pages, you can say, if 100 pages of Veda is there, 95 pages are talking about karma. But finally, the Upanishads, what are they saying? They are saying, Nasti akritaha kritena, like in the same Mundaka-Upanishad we saw before. So what I really want is the infinite, is the limitless. And the limitless cannot be the result of any action. So what I am really seeking, what I am instinctively seeking is not the result of any action. Whether you do whatever action you can do here or you can do somewhere else, it's not the result of any action. It is only the result of knowledge. Because if you are the limitless, you cannot become one in time. You are already the limitless. If I am already the limitless, if I am already the Brahman, then why am I suffering this samsara? That question comes. The only answer we can give is you are already suffering it due to adhyasa. The adhyasa itself is due to ajnana. So there is an ignorance with reference to yourself. So how can there be any ignorance with reference to myself, you can ask. Means it can be there, that's all we can say, because anything which is known can also be covered by ajnanam. Anything which is known but not fully known properly. So everybody knows I am there. You don't have to use any pramana for that. But then we make the mistake. We do this adhyasa that I am so and so. I am this individual. I am having this body. I am having a certain mind. I am having a certain intellect. So we have done this adhyasa. Atma, Anatma adhyasa. In fact, Shankara, in his adhyasa bhashya, when he gives the introduction to Brahma Sutra, raises a very interesting bhashya is there in the beginning. He raises a very important point. He says, how can anybody confuse the Atma and Anatma? It is illogical. It is impossible, like that he says. But still, it is there. That is the experience, correct? People say that I am blind, I am fat, I am hungry, I am idiot, I am stupid, I am knowledgeable, I am ignorant. Like this, we are taking the Anatma Dharma as one's own Dharma. And we think the mind is conscious, body is conscious and all that. So the Atma Dharma we are seeing in the Anatma. Anatma Dharma we are taking on Atma. And we are taking Anatma itself as Atma, because the body itself we are taking as myself. Okay, like this is already there. We cannot go into that and say why this Ajnana is there or why this Adhyasa has come about. This Adhyasa, logically speaking, there cannot be any Adhyasa. That's how Shankara starts his introduction to Brahma Sutra. There is no way that you can mistake between Chetanam and Achetanam, Atma and Anatma. They are like Tamas and Prakashaha. They are like light and darkness. But still, what is the experience? The Loka Anubhava is what? That we are all having this Adhyasa. So since you already have this Adhyasa, and Adhyasa is because of not knowing yourself correctly, the only solution right now is not to inquire into why this Adhyasa came or how it is possible and all that. We already accept that it is impossible, it is illogical, but it is there. So what do we do now? You have to take care of that, correct? So that means you have to gain this knowledge. There is no other way. And gaining this knowledge, you become satisfied. Correct? The Rishayaha here, Jnana Triptaha, they are satisfied only by this knowledge itself, because nothing else to be done. That is the important thing. That's what I wanted to convey here. 95% of the Veda is talking about karma, but karma phalam itself is not what I am seeking. If you are seeking karma phala, very well go and do whatever the Veda is telling. Okay? Because the Purva Mimamsa has already done the analysis. What is Dharma? What is the Dharma which the Veda is talking about? And by leading a life of Dharma, what is the result you will get also? They are very clear. You will go to Swarga. Different types of Swarga are there. And if you do Karma with Upasana, you will go to Brahmaloka, which is the most exalted. Okay? So that path is very clear. But Vedanta itself is for those who have done this thought experiment, I will say, correct? Who have come to a conclusion that any karma phala, I am not interested, because for enjoying the karma phala, I have to still be this limited jiva. Even if I go to Brahmaloka, I am still a jiva enjoying the pleasures of Brahmaloka, and it will come to an end also. Because Bhagavan says, Ap Brahma Bhonal Lokan Punaravartinorjuna. So, starting from Brahmaloka onwards, all lokas are all Punaravartinaha. Punaravartinaha means what? You have to return from there. Okay? They are all returnable places. Okay? You have to go there. Till the punya is there, you will be there. Once punya is exhausted, you will just vanish from there. Because in Swarga, there is no old age and death and all that. As long as punya is there, you will be there enjoying, then you vanish. Something like that, okay? So, but anyway, you have thought through all that and you have chosen to know yourself. You have chosen the limitless over limited results of action. And such a person is a kritatmanaha. This kritatmanaha means what? You have achieved now everything. Anyway, you are already not interested in karma phala. Now you have known yourself as this Brahmatma. You have known yourself as free from all limitations. You are not a wanting person anymore. That means you are also vitaragaha. You are free from all likes and dislikes. And because of that only you are very peaceful, prashantaha. So all these rishis who are jnanatriptaha, kritatmanaha, they have done everything that is to be done and they are having no likes and dislikes. Okay, means they are not having any binding likes and dislikes. They can still, prarabdha vashat, they are also undergoing a life and they are doing certain things. For the loka sangraha we have to take. For shishya's sake, guru will teach. But there is no binding likes and dislikes. There is no thinking that only by fulfilling of certain desire I am going to be happy. There is nothing like that. That is the reason jnanis are really shantaha also, prashantaha. They are totally peaceful. There is no anxiety to do anything and achieve anything. There is no fear also. Only a jnani can be totally fearless. Without being fearless, you can't also have peace. So there is no second thing at all to be afraid of. Then what to talk about? There is no more fear, there is no guilt, there is no problem of omission and commission and all that because I am not a karta bhokta. So that is the shanti, that is the real shanti we are talking about. And then they are also what? Te sarvagam sarvattaha prapya dhiraha yuktatmanaha sarvam eva avishanti. So previously it was said that the jnani enters Brahmaloka, means there the abode of Brahma Dhama, so the abode of Brahman means what? It is not Brahmaloka or going somewhere. That is made here very, very clear. So here the jnani, what is the jnani's lakshana? Sarvadam. Correct? So they are there everywhere. They go all over. Sarvataha prapya. Having gained everything, they are all pervasive. Correct? Dhiraha. They are discriminating people, obviously, jnanis. And yuktatmanaha. So yuktatmanaha means here they are established in Brahman, Brahmatma. Okay, they have nishtha. They don't take themselves as a limited jiva anymore. They are very clear that I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, Maye Sakalam Jatam, Mai Sarvam Pratishtitam, Mai Sarvam Layam Yati, Tad Brahmadvayam Asmi Aham. Like this is a Kaivalya Upanishad verse. So Maye Sakalam Jatam, everything is born only in me. Mai Sarvam Pratishtitam, in me everything is established. I give the existence to everything in fact. So they are all existent. Any object and all the subjects. In fact, there is really only one subject. Even though, let us say that other sentient beings we see. So the same Chaitanya is shining everywhere. And both the subject and all the objects are all supported by this Chaitanyam only. They are all only appearing in this Chaitanyam. Chaitanyam alone gives satta and spurti to everything. Mai sarvam layam yati. So once the names and forms vanish, they resolve into myself, and that Advayam Brahma is myself. Like this, there is a beautiful verse in the Kaivalya Upanishad. So that is the vision of the Jnani. So these verses and all we can use for Nididhyasanam also. Each of these words you can take and think through that, okay, and recollect that Aham Kritatmanaha is enough. That one thing you can think about, how you are the Kritatma, or how I am Vitaragaha. Aham Vitaragaha. I have no real likes or dislikes, no binding likes or dislikes. Anything can happen. I am not really affected. That is the vision. So like this here, the one who is established in this Brahman, having this Nishtha, is all pervasive, and having gained everything and being all pervasive, this Jnani Sarvam Eva Avishantihi. So the Jnani enters everything, means it becomes everything here. Okay? So being all pervasive, being established, having this Brahmanistha, Jnani becomes everything. So Sarvatma Bhava is talked about in this verse. So up to this we have seen already, okay, in the previous classes. Now let us see the next verse, which again is a very, very famous verse. Okay. So let us see this. Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitarthaha.
Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitarthaha.
Sannyasa Yogat.
Sannyasa Yogat.
Yataya Shuddha Sattvaha.
Yataya Shuddha Sattvaha.
Te Brahma Lokeshu.
Te Brahma Lokeshu.
Parantakale. Paramritaha. Parimuchyanti sarve. So this is
Guru Dashakam, that only.
Not Guru Dashakam. This is there in Mahanarayana Upanishad also. It is there in Kaivalya Upanishad also. It is there in Mundaka also. This particular verse.
Oh, okay. This is chanted in front of Acharya and all that, right? Shankaracharya.
Normally, when we give Purna Kumbha to a sannyasi, we chant Nakarmana na prajaya dhane na tyage neike amritatva manashuhu parena na kannihitang guhayam vidhrajade tatyatayo vishanti. Then Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitartha Sannyasa Yoga Yataya Shuddha Sattvaha. So this verse is chanted like that. That's why I am actually, even while reading, I was using the swara, because I am also used to chanting this like that.
Okay.
It's a very famous verse. So here again the Jnani only is talked about. Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitarthaha. So the ones who have determined the meaning of this Vakyas of the Vedanta, correct? So the whatever Vijnana is revealed by these Vedanta, Vedanta here means Vedanta Vakyani, correct? So whatever is revealed, whatever knowledge is revealed by this Vedanta, that Artha is clearly understood, well ascertained by whom, correct? So thus those people are called Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitarthaha. So this is the Bahurihi here, correct? So here it is talking about the people who have well understood the knowledge which is revealed by the Vedanta Vakyas. And how did they ascertain this knowledge? How did they understand this? How did they gain this knowledge? Sannyasa Yoga. So again here, a certain renunciation is being talked about, correct? Sannyasa Yoga. Even before, if we go, na tapasa alingyat, like that it was there. If we go, see, nacha pramadat tapasaha vapi alingat. So, alingat there means without having any linga for renunciation, even if you do tapas, but without any renunciation. If you do only tapas for karma phala, it is not going to help, correct? You can do tapas, even asuras do tapas, but that doesn't matter. So you should do tapas, but not for karma phala. Here it has to be jnanamayam tapas. So again the sannyasa yoga here is talked about very prominently. That is because in your mind, as an individual, you should have understood very, very clearly that I don't seek any results of action, because you have a certain understanding that any results of any action is not going to satisfy me totally. So I am not really interested in that. So that is the attitude. And again, sannyasa itself is talked about here specifically, means what does it indicate? A sannyasi gives up all roles, except for only two roles the sannyasi can have, correct? So those two are either the sannyasi can be a student or the sannyasi can be a teacher, a guru. So only a guru or shishya, these two roles are there. Otherwise, all other roles one gives up, means it shows one's commitment towards this knowledge. I am ready to give up all other roles so that I can totally focus on gaining this knowledge alone. So a sannyasi is no more a mother, a father, a son or a daughter, husband or wife, employer or employee, not even a citizen. Understand that. That's why in those days, sannyasis can go from one kingdom to another kingdom. They were freely roaming around in India because they are not citizens of any particular kingdom. Okay. In fact, that is why even now some orthodox people, they look at little bit in a, like they are not totally accepting sannyasis having passports and visas and all that. Understand that? Because a sannyasi is not even a citizen, really speaking. They don't have any duty of even a citizen, although a modern nation state will not agree to that, correct? Because we all have certain duties as citizens. Nowadays even sannyasis are all becoming MPs, MLAs, ministers and all that. So, but strictly speaking, the sannyasa means that you have given up all other things and you are pursuing this Atma Jnanam exclusively. Now again, everybody cannot take up literally the lifestyle of a sannyasi as traditionally understood, correct? Because traditionally a sannyasi is not even supposed to stay in a home. Modern sannyasis are all staying in some ashram or some apartments and all that, correct? So that means they are also not totally following the sannyasa dharma is there. They are also that not more than 3 nights they will stay in one place. They are not supposed to have anything with them. They have to only beg and eat. All that was there. But modern sannyasis are not really even following that. So they are also like householders. Only thing is they don't have a family and all that. So that way they are still having a simplified lifestyle. But anybody who wants to gain this knowledge has to have this attitude of karma phala tyagam. So that's what Bhagavan, in the 6th chapter, there is a very interesting verse. I think it's the first verse itself. So there he says, na niragnir na cha akriyaha na cha sanyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati and all is there in Bhagavad Gita. So the niragni or akriyaha, the one who has given up all the agni karma and one who has given up karma in general, okay, cannot be considered as a sannyasi, Bhagavan says. Only the one who has given up the idea that I want karma phala, correct? You have to give up that idea that karma phala only is going to satisfy me, it is the one which is going to make me happy. The one who has given up that very idea, that person is the real yogi and real sannyasi, like that Bhagavan says in the beginning of the 6th chapter. Okay. So that is very important. Whether whatever lifestyle you are leading now, the attitude which you should have should correspond to a sannyasi. And what is that attitude? That I am not interested in any karma phala. Clear. So that is the tyagi. That is the tyagam you have done. But still you are doing some karma. That is for whatever, because it is dictated by the lifestyle which you are currently leading, and also you have to deha dharanam you have to do, correct? So you have to still live in this world and do whatever is to be done. So for that purpose you can do karma, but you are not doing all this karma thinking that this karma phala is going to give me happiness, or your goal itself is not gaining any karma phala. So that sannyasa buddhi has to be there, the yoga buddhi, correct? The attitude of sannyasa, whether you have the sannyasa ashrama or not, the sannyasa attitude has to be there with you. Then only you can understand this Vedanta Vijnanam. You can have Sunishchitartham. Then only you can have well ascertained knowledge of the Vedanta. And also normally sannyasa yoga yatayaha. Yatayaha also means yatna-shilaha. Yatayaha means yatna-shilaha. So yatayaha sannyasis. In general, yati means sannyasi. But if you look for the etymology, the vyutpati of that yatna-shilaha is yatayaha. Yati means yatna-shilaha, one who does lot of effort, one who puts in effort, means here the effort is in gaining this knowledge, correct? So all these yatis, due to this sannyasa yoga, and also what kind of yati they are? Shuddha sattvaha. So their mind is free from raga dvesha. Here shuddha means what? Pure. Sattvaha means, sattva is another word for antakaranam only. Okay? Because the sukshma sharira is supposed to be from the sattva guna amsha of the pancha mahabhutani. Understand that. The antakarana is made up of the sattva aspect of the pancha mahabhuta. The tamas aspect is the physical body. The rajas aspect is the prana. Understand that. So that's why the word sattva can also mean your antakaranam. Is that clear? So here Shuddha Sattvaha means those who have a pure mind. Now purity means what? You have to define what is impurity. Then only we can talk about purity, correct? So impurity is always Raga Dvesha. And Raga Dvesha itself, why it is a problem? Because if you think that only by gaining something or getting rid of something I can be happy, that implies that you are a jiva, you are a limited being. So that is against the teaching of this Vedanta. So that's why you have to get rid of all these binding desires. Get rid of means what? It's not a question of getting, your mind keeps thinking anyway. Jayate vishayan pumsaha sangaste upajayate. So from there the sangha is born, Bhagavan says. The nature of mind is to think. Due to thinking, you get an association. And due to association, you get desire. But when the desire is there, what is your attitude towards the desire is the most important thing. If you think that by fulfilling that desire only I can be happy, then you have to change your attitude. You are not a mumukshu then. You are not a jnanasu. So that is where the important thing we have to understand. So the one who is not swayed by one's own likes and dislikes, that person is a Shuddha Sattvaha. So here all these yatis are all Shuddha Sattvaha. Okay. So they have ascertained the meaning of this Vedantaha. Okay. And Brahma Lokeshu. Again this Brahma Lokeshu is in 7th case and plural also. Because Brahma eva lokaha we have to take here. Here we can't really take the meaning as Brahma loka. Although again there are many readings of this particular verse. Okay. In Mundaka-Upanishad here it is the Prakrita. The subject matter under discussion is the Lakshana of a Jnani. So here there is no question of taking it in any other way. But in some other place in Kaivalya Upanishad or even in Mahanarayana, people can take this as Krama Mukti also. There is a concept of Krama Mukti in Vedanta. Understand that. So here what they will say is they will break this verse itself into two parts. So Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchitartha Sannyasa Yogat Yatayaha. Up to this part is one. They are all jnanis and they attain this Brahman. Then from Shuddha Sattvaha onwards they will take differently, because even those who don't have this Brahmatma Aikya Jnanam, but they are all having like pure mind means what? They are not swayed by normal likes and dislikes and all that. They have done a lot of karma, upasana, and they end up in Brahmaloka. Like that one meaning you can give. And from Brahmaloka again, being taught by Brahmaji, they attain moksha finally. Like that one meaning you can give for this verse. But that meaning is not very appropriate in this place. Because already here we are anyway talking about the Lakshana of a Jnani. So we have to take this as Brahma eva lokaha. Okay. So Brahman itself is the loka. And why do we have plural here? One question will come still. So one explanation which is given is, it is there in plural because it is Pudyartha, like that we can say. Okay. So that means what? Whatever you talk about with some respect, that we use plural, correct? In Indian languages it is there. Even in Tamil we say Ungalukku. Even for a single person, or even in Sanskrit we say Swaminaha and all that. Okay. So we use plural. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha we say. Gurubhyo is again plural. Even though we may be doing Namaskara only to my Guru. So plural is used for this Pudyartha. So here Brahman, Brahma eva lokaha, and again Brahma lokeshu is used. In Pudyartha we can take. Is that clear? So this Brahman alone is loka means what? Again loka itself has many meanings. Loka means, you can say it's a field of experience. Okay. Otherwise we say that Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka, like that. Like that also we can take. Or we can say Lokyate iti lokaha. Whatever you experience is loka. And Brahmaneva lokaha means what? All experiences, all that you experience is nothing but Brahman, correct? That is the beauty, that is the teaching. Pratibodha viditam matam, Upanishad says. In each and every cognition, what is known is nothing but Brahman alone is known. Brahman is known, Brahman is knower. Knowledge also is Brahman. There is nothing other than this Brahman. Brahman alone is what you are experiencing. Everything that you experience is nothing but Brahman alone. So you don't actually require a special experience to gain this Atma. Understand that. All the experiences are taking place only in this Brahman. There is no experience without Chaitanya, correct? And Chaitanyam alone is the invariable in all experiences. Whatever you are experiencing comes and goes, and even whatever comes and goes is not independent of Brahman. This Brahman, Brahmatma alone is giving the very existence to whatever you are experiencing. That's what we have to understand here. So all experiences takes place only within this Brahman, in this Brahman. There is no experience without Chaitanya. So whatever you hear, you are only listening to this Atma. Whatever you feel, you are only feeling this Atma. Whatever you see, you are only seeing this Brahmatma. Whatever you taste, you are tasting only this Brahmatma. Like that, that is the vision. That is jnana. So Brahma lokeshu, Brahma eva lokaha, te paranta kale. So again, here Paranta Kala is talked about. So Anta Kala means normally death. Okay, we can take. So normal people, for normal people we call it Anta Kala. But being a samsari, they all take up another body, correct? Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinnati naroparani. Like that Bhagavan says. So as soon as a person gives up this body, whatever they are having, they then take up another body. In fact, all the karma we do, Antya karma, correct? After when somebody dies and we do karma, and all those karma is only in helping them to gain this new body, so that they can go to some loka, Pitruloka, at least Pitruloka. From there, then depending on their punya, they will go to Swarga Loka also. So all the karma which we do after somebody's death is all in helping to form this body properly, and then we bid them farewell also. So for 11 days we do lot of karma, and then on the 11th day we say Gacha Gacha and all the mantra. Since recently I also underwent all this karma, I can tell you. So we actually do them farewell, and in fact some of the karma is about like giving them some kind of a vahana also, Rishabha, so that they can go on that, and we give a lot of dana. So you give an umbrella to somebody, means again for that jiva also it will be useful while going from this loka to some other loka, the Pitruloka. So like that, this loka gamanam is the main thing for a samsari. But for a jnani, there is nothing actually, correct? The tasya pranaha na utkramante, like that another Upanishad says. Okay, so the jnani's prana does not get up. It simply, all the things just resolve into the elements which are there. That's all. Already. So there is nothing to get up. So they in fact become one with Brahman, we have to say. Correct? After Videha Mukti also. So here Videha Mukti is talked about. After the Deha falls, there is nothing there to take another Janma. Understand that. So, te Brahma Lokeshu Paranta Kale Paramritaha Sarve Parimuchyanti. So, Paramritaha means what? So, Paramritaha San Parimuchyanti we have to take. So, being Paramritaha at the time of the death of this body means here Sukshma Sharira also we have to take, not just Sthula Sharira. Because normally for a samsari, the Sukshma Sharira does not go away. Only the Sthula Sharira goes. The Sukshma Sharira keeps on taking bodies, different bodies, till the Mahapralaya comes. When the Sukshma Sharira goes into the Karana. Again in the next cycle, from the Karana, all this Sukshma Sharira come. And again, you keep taking different bodies like that. That is the cycle of a samsari. Is that clear? But for a jnani, Sukshma Sharira also is gone. That is why we say it is Paranta Kala. So it is not just the death of the physical body, it is the Sukshma Sharira also is not there for the jnani. And at that time, being this Paramcha, Amritancha, we have to take. Correct? All these jnanis, they are immortal and they are also para. They are actually not separate from Brahman. Para here means Brahman only. Correct? Apnoti param. That is Taittiriya Upanishad. So Brahma vid apnoti param. And there param means infinite, limitless. So being limitless, being immortal, paraha cha amritaha, paramritaha. So being Brahman and being immortal, all these yatis, they become completely free from any sense of limitation. And they become one with Brahman only, even at the time of the death of the physical body and the subtle body. Both are gone for a jnani. So that is what is talked about here. Is that clear? So this is a very, very important verse which actually is chanted also. Correct? Whenever we welcome a sannyasi, we give a Purna Kumbha, we chant this.
Jayji, Paranta Kala, can you explain that once more, please?
Yeah, see, Paranta Kala, I told, normally Anta Kala is for anybody. Whenever the death of the physical body happens, we can call it Anta Kala, because normal people, they take another body. The Sukshma Sharira is very much there, understand that. In whatever we call as death is only the death of the physical body. The Sukshma Sharira, mind and all is still there. That is why even in Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, Arjuna says, what happens to the Yoga Brashta, one who has taken up this pursuit but for some reason was not able to complete it, did not understand correctly, or whatever, fell astray, went astray. So Bhagavan says, Partha Naiva Iha Amutra Vinashastasya Vidyate, and all. He says there is no Vinasha for this Yoga Brashta also. Nahi Kalyana Krit Kashiti Durgatim Tata Gachati. He gives an assurance for this Kalyana Krit. One who has come into this pursuit is a Kalyana Krit. They have come to this auspicious pursuit. For them there is no Durgati. Okay, only Sadgati. So either they will reach Swarga and enjoy there for a long time, or they will be born amongst yogis. So yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatam, like that Bhagavan says. Then he says something very interesting. He says tatratam buddhi sanyogam labate paurvadehikam. So Krishna says they will gain that whatever buddhi they had in the previous janma, whatever buddhi was there in the purva deha, that they gain connection with the same thing again. So like that, Sukshma Sharira is not gone, correct? For a normal Ajnani, Sukshma Sharira only takes different Sthula Shariras all the time. So that is why in fact we cannot even say this rest in peace and all that. This rest in peace and all is useless expression because it's a total Christian expression. For them, the soul is resting till it is still some savior will come and they will again wake up and all that. They have some concept. So till that time the soul is in some limbo. It is resting. According to our understanding, there is no resting or anything. As soon as one Sthula Sharira is gone, the Sukshma Sharira will take another Sharira, correct? So that's what Bhagavan talks about. So that is the Antakala normally we talk about. But here Parantakala is said specially. So amongst the Antakala also it is the final. Parantakala means we can say final Antakala, correct? So what does it mean? For a Jnani there is no Sukshma Sharira also, because Jnani is not having any Sharira. Jnani is Ashariri, really speaking. So Jnani's death also is only in Mithya, correct? It is only from the standpoint of the Srishti and Prarabdha we talk about the death of a Jnani. So Jnani is really Ashariri.
So the Jnana will burn both the Sthula, the Sukshma Sharira and the Sthula Sharira.
Correct, because a Jnani has to look upon one's own Antakarana also as Mithya, correct? One's own Ahankara also as Mithya. That is the Jnani. So Jnana means your own very individuality, you are looking at it as Mithya. So that's why it is slightly difficult, correct? Yena tyajati tat tyaja, we have to say. So there is a verse, it says that give up dharma and adharma, give up papa and punya, correct? Give up all karma, and finally give up that by which you have given up. Yena tyajati tat tyaja. That is the most difficult thing, correct? Because you give up using your ahankara. I have given up this, I have given up that. Then ahankara will become big. Do you know what all I have sacrificed? What all I have renounced? Like that, if the ahankara becomes big, then again it's a problem. So one has to give up. Only by giving up the limited ahankara one can understand that one is limitless, correct? There is no other way. Without giving up the limited, how are you going to understand the limitless? So the limitless is always there. It is already there. It's actually very easy. All you have to give up is the notion that you are limited. And what is holding up, or what is holding you up? Your own ahankara only, correct? The ahankara is the one which makes you think you are a limited being. I am confined to a body. I am confined to a certain particular mind and intellect. Give up that. Then you are as you are. You are already the limitless. So that jnana is very simple. So for a jnani, there is no Sukshma Sharira also. So when the Sthula Sharira falls, Sukshma Sharira also is gone. And then jnani is one with Brahman alone. Jnani is already one with Brahman. Being one with Brahman, at the time of the fall of the body also, jnani becomes one with Brahman again. Is that clear? That's what this verse is talking about. So at the time of death of a jnani, the jnani is not going to take another body. Now this is actually talked about as a very big thing, correct? Because moksha itself is talked about in a language where they say that what is moksha means the freedom from this janana and marana. That way also we put, correct? Not having Punarjanma is moksha. That is one way of looking at it, correct? Because for a jnani, there is no Punarjanma. There is nothing to take Janma again. Only the Ajnani goes through the Samsaritvam. Because of which you have again and again Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. So this Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshanam, like that we saw, correct? When we did value of values, one of the value is what? The ability to look upon this Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi itself as Dukkha and Dosha. That is part of your Vairagya. Even being born and becoming old and dying and all this cycle, one should have the desire to get out of this cycle. So for that you have to look upon all these things as dosha. Dosha darshanam has to be there. And that's what. So a jnani, being a sannyasi, having understood whatever Vedanta is saying, having a pure mind, already being Brahman, being immortal, at the time of the falling of the physical body, for the jnani there is no Sukshma Sharira also. The Sukshma Sharira also falls. Tasya pranaha na utkramante, as I told you. And such a jnani, all these jnanis, sarve, they become one with Brahman only. So they become totally free, completely free from all limitations. Even that whatever little bit of vestige of the body was there, even that is gone. There is no limitation. Parimuchyanti, completely, totally free from all limitations, being one with Brahman. So that is what this particular verse is talking about, Videha Mukti also. So till now the previous verses were talking about Sarvatma Bhava. Those are all Jivan Mukti only. So even here you can say up to a point it is talking about being Jivan Muktaha. The jnani becomes a Videha Mukti also, attains Videha Mukti. When the body falls, there is no Punarjanma, like that. Here it is there. Actually, one more small point I will say, it's not very relevant, but still. But there is in Brahma Sutra, there is one discussion is there. I don't exactly remember in the third pada, not third pada, but third section of the Brahma Sutra. I think it is first pada or third pada, I don't remember. 3 dot something dot something. There is a discussion that even a jnani may be born again if Isvara Ajna is there and all that. Okay. So there is, but jnani will be born but not as an Ajnani. Understand that. So if due to some Ishvara's Ajna, some pending work is there, even a jnani may be there, having taking another body or something like that. Like that, there is one scenario is presented and Shankara talks about that point. Okay, I just want you to know that also. In general, but that is why this moksha, if you can't define moksha itself as not having another janma and all that. That's not a very good definition of moksha. Moksha means being free from all limitations. That is the best way of understanding moksha. But one way of looking at that thing is that you don't have any more births also, because a jnani does not look upon himself or herself as having any body, neither physical body nor subtle body, neither sthula sharira nor sukshma sharira. Abhimana is there for a jnani. So when the jnani's bodies fall, there is no one there to actually take up another janma. That is the normal understanding. But special case also is there, and there is a particular Brahma Sutra for that. there is an argument, and then finally Shankara says that due to Isvara Ajna, if some pending work is there, even a jnani can again be born. There is no restriction in all that. Like that, he gives a explanation there. Just remember that also. So, okay, we'll see the next verse the next week. Next week, hopefully, I think we don't have too many. Only a few more verses are there. Okay. So, maybe in couple of weeks we can finish this. Then we'll take up some other text. We'll decide that what we will take up. Okay. Om Purnamadah
Purnamidam
Purnat Purnamudacya Purnasya Purnamevavashishyate Om
Purnamevavashishyate
Om Shanti
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 Hari Om Shri
Gurubhyo Namaha
Hari Om.
Om